So we've been in Querétaro for about 2 months now, and we thought we'd share some of the things that we've learned having lived here.
First, we've learned a lot about grocery shopping here. One of the biggest things that we have noticed in the supermarkets here versus the supermarkets in the US is that there is a much bigger emphasis on cooking from scratch. So if you're the type of person who likes to pick up one of those bags of frozen dinner things that you throw in the skillet, or hamburger helper, one of those boxes of rice that you just add water and cook it for 20 minutes and now you've got this rice side dish, canned soup, any of that stuff, it doesn't really exist here. It does, but to a much, much smaller extent than you'll find in the US. So like, for example, the canned soup aisle in the US will be almost an entire aisle long. Here, it's like one little section. You'll find a little bit of Campbell's condensed soup and like just plain chicken stock, and that's about it. So if you're a person who is not comfortable cooking, especially cooking from scratch, then you might find yourself eating out a lot here.
And eating out here in Querétaro is not like in the States. Granted, being a very modern city, there is a lot of fast food, but it's not as quick and convenient as in the United States. It's either going to be a sit down or you're going to get some delicious street food.
So yeah, if it's much more, meals have become much more of an ordeal here. But I think that has a lot to do with the culture and the lifestyle. It's less of go, just eat something from a package, go through a drive-through. It's more of a like, sit down, enjoy your meal, have a glass of wine while you cook this elaborate meal from scratch. You know, that's just the culture here. And so that's just something that's different.
Yeah, the food, it is better and it is healthier when you're not just eating quick, easy food.
Yes.
One thing about Querétaro is there's not a lot of expat families. There are a lot of expats, and it seems like more people are moving here every day. But for people like us and kind of our channel, you're not going to see a lot of younger people and people with small kids. What we've seen in the expat groups, and there's a few expat groups, is a lot of retirees and a lot of single people.
But not a lot of families with kids, and definitely not a lot of families with younger kids. When we do meet another family, they have teenagers and things like that. Also, we are homeschoolers, and there are other families with kids here that do homeschool, but they're not doing nearly as many activities right now due to COVID, so it's been nearly impossible for our kids to make any friends.
One thing we've found here in Querétaro is there's just a much bigger emphasis on walking and getting outside than back in the United States. And we lived all over the United States, but here in Querétaro, and I can't speak for the rest of Mexico, but here in Querétaro, everybody is always out and about. Now, when you go to the store, when you go to the mall, there's just so many people who are just doing their shopping or just out just to be out. It's different from back in the States, where oftentimes you just see people who would just get in the car just to go to Target, just to go to Walmart, and then they're back to the house. Here, shopping is especially big on the weekends. You just see people making a family to-do about it. So not just shopping and not just going down to the market, but just even here in our lovely neighborhood, we see tons of families out walking the dog. Just there's families to our left just playing with their kids. Maybe it has something to do with the amazing weather. Maybe it's just a cultural thing, but when we go out and we go to the city, even if we're going to the carniceria or just going to the little vegetable stand, there's just so many more people just enjoying being outside of their houses than what we were used to back in the United States.
Another thing that we've learned about Mexicans and Mexican culture is just how incredibly kind they all are. Everyone that we come in contact with has been so incredibly nice to us. Everywhere we go, anyone that passes you on the street, they all say hello, buenos dias, buenas tardes, everywhere, every single person that you pass. And the customer service, in the stores, in the restaurants, in any shop that you go to, everyone is so nice. And especially because we don't speak great Spanish. So sometimes I feel like in the States, if someone doesn't speak good English, people might be a little impatient with them. But here in Mexico, no one has really been impatient with us. Everyone has been extremely kind, willing to help. We just couldn't say anything better about how nice the people are here.
And we're from the South, and there's a certain level of Southern hospitality that we're used to, and people greeting people. Now this is above and beyond.
Yeah, it's
been
like a
wonderful.
whole other level of kindness and greeting people here. So it's been really fabulous.
So there are lots of things to do and see in Querétaro City and Querétaro State. For instance, very close to our house, there's lots of modern malls that are way better than anything we're used to from back in the States. The closest mall is this 3-story modern, just so many great stores. And there's lots of good breweries around town. The restaurants, and so many restaurants, have just been fantastic. So, and then you get into Centro, the downtown part of Santiago de Querétaro, and there's so much to see. There's museums, there's restaurants, this historical district with parks, and we love just going downtown and walking around, just taking in all of the gorgeous sights, the cathedrals, the gardens.
And all around the city, in the state of Querétaro, there are wineries, there's quesadillas that you saw from our trip to Tequis. There is tons of hiking, there's the Sierra Gorda Mountains with waterfalls, hot springs. There's just so many things to do in and around the city that we just have not even scratched the surface of all there is to see and do here.
Yeah, we're just, 45 minutes from some of the Pueblo Magicos, very close to San Miguel de Allende. And where we're at, close to Santa Rosa Jauregui, we're maybe, 45 minutes from San Miguel de Allende, and we're maybe an hour from Tequis. There's all of these wonderful cities and things to see very close to Querétaro, here in Querétaro State.
We hope that this video has been entertaining and that you have learned a little something about Querétaro. We really love it here. We're gonna explore some other cities, but it is honestly really hard to leave. We love it here. It's a great city. It's beautiful. It's just absolutely fantastic. We are loving it and we highly recommend it, especially for anyone with families. It's such a great city. If you like this video, then we would love it if you would hit the like button and subscribe. We've got a lot more coming and we know you want to see it.